Hello, welcome to your week 3 summary and your week 4 overview video. So in week 3, obviously we've completed our presentations. So we completed them yesterday, we've marked them, we're just going through the moderation process and we'll get them out to you as soon as we can. Now officially, there is a 4-week window for feedback and marks to come back to you. But if we're in a position to do that earlier, as in everyone submitted it and everything's been marked and we've moderated everything we need to, then we could get that back earlier. And we're hoping to get the presentations back to you within the next few days. Now, in addition to that, in week 3, we started to shift the focus away from the presentation and towards the EduBlog, the report part of the EduBlog specifically, but also the reflective part of your study skills tasks. So you're obviously covering that today with Ryan. Now, if we look at week 4, this is how we're going to continue to build this. So you've got a session on Monday around understanding inclusion with Ryan. So the content you've had so far around the sports development continuum and the work that you've done with Tash, Ryan's going to try and consolidate that in terms of how we explore that content, but from an inclusion perspective. You're also going to continue doing your worksheets with Tash. And then on Tuesday, we've got a couple of face-to-face sessions. So we've got a report writing session from 9 o'clock, and in that report writing session, we're also going to go through EduBlogs in a bit more depth. So please bring laptops with you, because we'll make sure on that Tuesday morning, if you've not signed up to EduBlog yet or you've not joined the class, then we can make sure that you've all done that in that session. So pretty much all you need to do then with your EduBlog is build the work. And we'll come to that in a moment. You've then got this multi-skills practical with me on Tuesday, and we've got another one on Thursday. So we're going to apply the work that you've done with Tash so far in terms of the theory in a practical setting. So on Tuesday, we're outside. So just be aware of the weather and it's getting cold. So please bring coats and jogging bottoms. Unless it's torrential, we will go ahead pretty much no matter what, because it's your final session. So you won't be sat in a classroom in wet clothes if we're in that environment. And I'm trying to figure this out, but I will try and record those sessions as well. You've then got a session with Tash on Wednesday, and then you've got a task here, which I'll set it now, even though we've said Wednesday. The key thing about this task is you do it before this Thursday session. So you need to build a CV. You need to create a CV. Now, if you've got one already, all you need to do is have that CV. You might want to tweak it slightly. You might want to make it better. If you haven't got one yet, then you will need to build one from scratch. You can use templates from online, or you can just build it from a blank Word document. You will need to bring that CV with you to this session on Thursday. So we're back in for face-to-face on Thursday, and you've got a session with me and Terry, and we're going to explore how to make an effective CV. And then on Friday, we've got an online session with me and Terry, where we're going to explore how to build an effective supporting statement for a job application. You've then got another session with Tash, where you can kind of consolidate the multi-skills theory and look ahead to the additional workshops that you're going to do over the next several months, and then the practical element of that looking forwards. So if we look at the EduBlog assessment, you've got these 5 components, and we spoke about this a few times already. So this one's quite quick, an about me section. Your study skills, you have using a library study skills worksheet, using discovery worksheet, and then your completed gap analysis, which you will update from what you submitted in week 1. You've then got this short written reflection on your wider study skills, including some of these here in brackets as examples. So the work that you've done with Ryan here in week 3, so this is today, how to write reflectively, that's directly relevant to this task here. You've then got your employability tab. You've done that task already. Terry put a 30-minute video up for you to complete this week, where you're going to be looking for 5 relevant jobs. Really important here, you post the links to the jobs, but you also download the job descriptions and any other documentation and upload those. If the job doesn't have a job description, or it's older than 12 months old, you won't be able to use it. Message me if you need clarification on that. You'll then select one of those jobs. So from the 5 that you found, you'll select one of those. And then based on the work that you've done with Terry around the CV building next week and a supporting statement next week, you would then create and upload a specific CV and a specific supporting statement for one of those jobs. Now, we're aware that you may not have all of the qualifications or experience or skills for the jobs you find now. That's fine. So in your supporting statement, you'll talk about your current experiences relevant to one of those jobs. Now, we know that you probably won't get that job if it's, for example, a PE teacher and you haven't got the degree yet. But if you write about your current experiences and your current qualifications and how you're suitable, and maybe the fact that you're on a degree and you're completing it, that will be good enough for now. You will then upload all of your multi-skills worksheets. Now, it's really important that you build your EduBlogs. So in this session on Tuesday, it's ready to go in terms of you sign up to the class, because Tash is going to start marking everything that you upload from Tuesday. So the role on Tuesday is to make sure you're set up on the class and you start to upload everything you've done already. And then you've got the report element that you've had a session with Ryan last Friday around planning. You've had a session today in terms of developing that planning. And if we go back to the week 4 schedule, you've got this other session with me on Tuesday where we're going to look at this in more depth again. So you should be able to go away and write your report element. Now, in terms of submitting your EduBlog, you would need to submit this report, so your 500 to 1,000 word report, in a Word document, including all of the aspects Ryan's talked to you about, including title pages, contents pages, etc. It would need to be in the appropriate format, so please don't go like size 16 font or a different font type. Really work through the stuff that you've done with Ryan. And then you will submit that, if we go down to the Assessment Information tab in the Port EduBlog. Now, within the title page of your report, you will also need to upload your report into this section of your EduBlog. So you'll physically put it on Turnitin, but you'll also make sure it's uploaded into this section. But on the title page of your EduBlog, you will need to put the web link so we can then click on that and access your EduBlog website through your report and see the rest of this. We'll talk through that in more depth on Tuesday, but just alerting you that that's what will go into your EduBlog assessment here on Turnitin. And also your report will need to be uploaded here on your EduBlog as well. If you want further guidance, there's some information here about setting up an EduBlog, and there's also some guidance here on report writing.